guys, welcome to today's Big Brother Canada updates and spoilers. Our house guest of the day is no one. If you want to be house guest of the day, check out our Patreon link in the info box below. It only takes $1 and we'd really appreciate it. Okay, so things are heating up in the house, and I mean that literally and game-wise. I know it's cheesy, but they had a freaking grease fire in the kitchen yesterday. Somebody was making something on the stove, I think it was Dallas, and all of a sudden it's like, and then Raul like blew on it and it was like, so then the feeds went off, and when they came back, everything was fine. The fire was out. They should probably clean off that stove top. Alright, so game-wise, here's where we're at. Yesterday, Tim told Dallas, "You're staying," and he was really excited about that. But Jared and Mitch are not into this, so they're going to be campaigning to get rid of Dallas. It's a real battle right now, guys. I'm not even kidding. Oh my god. It's been too much. The past 2 days have been like, it's a lot. Alright, so Jared talks to Tim, and he's like, I want Dallas to go. So Jared is like, yeah, Dallas is coming after me, but more importantly, he thinks that Dallas will divide the group. He sees Dallas pitting him and the brothers against each other, and that's just not good for their group in the long run. And then he's saying, oh, if Dallas stays, like, he's going to try to recruit me. Wait, so is he coming after you, or he's going to try to recruit you? It can't really be both. I don't know. But Tim is just like, oh, it's all good. Whoever stays is not going to have anyone to work with, so it'll be easy to pick them off next. And he lets Jared know, like, if Dallas stays, don't take that as you being in trouble. Like, we're not after you. He's probably not after you. I think he's after him. And I think that means we're going to do this even though you don't want us to. So then Mitch was campaigning to the brothers, Phil and Nick, and he's like, look, me, Ramsey, Raul, and Jared are all voting for Dallas to go. You can be the 5th vote. And the brothers are like, oh, we're really like nervous about keeping Maddie because they feel like she's coming after them. And he's like, no, if you're the 5th vote, you're going to buy yourself some protection with Maddie because she's going to go after the 3 people that voted for her, Cassandra, Nikki, and Joel. So he's like, yeah, this is a good way to protect yourself. It smooths a lot of things out. You'll be on the right side of history, blah, 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 that kind of thing. So then Phil is like, well, I think you're going to have to talk to Tim about it, which basically means I'm doing whatever Tim tells me to do. So Mitch is like, well, you guys should play your own game and, like, make your own decisions here. Oh, snap! So then Jared joins them, and again, he's like, guys, don't split up the group. Don't do it. So Phil is, like, kind of saying the same thing that Tim said. Like, if we keep Dallas, it doesn't mean that we're not still with you. It kind of does, though. So then the brothers report back to Tim and Cassandra about their conversations, and Tim is just like, oh my god, guys, don't stress. It's fine. He reassures them that Maddie's going. Don't let people like Jared and Mitch strong-arm you. We're doing what we want to do. So then Jared is talking to Cass. It's the same stuff. Don't split up the group, blah, blah, blah. Keeping Dallas is going to draw a line in the sand, and Cass pulls this gem out. She tells Jared that she is loyal to him over Tim, but she's looking at the bigger picture here, and she wants to keep Dallas. Yeah, because she feels like Maddie is coming after her. So it's basically like Jared versus Cassandra at this point, because Jared thinks that Dallas is after him, Cassandra thinks that Maddie's after her. And it really seems like the two of them are leading the campaigns here for the two sides, or at least playing a really big role. So then it kind of moves away from that a little bit, and Jared lets Cass know that Nikki is, like, super pissed at her right now, and it looks like she could even be changing her vote to getting rid of Dallas. So Cass was just like, wait, what? That's not good. So Tim, Cass, and Nick are talking about this whole Nikki situation, and they're really annoyed that she's wavering on her vote now because they thought they had her on lock. She was just going to do whatever they wanted. So they're going to have to do some damage control, but just in case, they also want to see if they can flip Ramsey, because if they do get Nikki's vote, then it'll be 5-3. If they don't get Nikki's vote and they do get Ramsey, at least it'll still be a tie, and they'll still be able to do what they want to do. So we'll see how that goes. Mitch and Nikki were chatting about the vote, and Nikki's just going on and on about how she can't stand Cassandra. Mitch sees his opportunity, and he seizes it because he is a wonderful player. So he's like, you know, if Dallas stays, he's going to protect Cass. And I know you don't like her. So Maddie, on the other hand, if she stays and wins HOH, she'd put up Cassandra, and then you could vote her out. So Nikki's like, oh, yes, you're right, I like that. So Nikki says that she's going to stick to the original plan and vote out Dallas. And she's like, and I don't even want to talk to Tim and Cassandra. I don't want to talk to them. All right, so now that it seems like Nikki is going to vote out Dallas, the battle for Ramsey's vote begins. So Phil and Dallas were campaigning to him, and it's, you know, it's the same stuff that they've been telling him all week. Maddie's going to take your game. She's not good for you. We're your friends. Like, we're going to protect you and work with you. But Ramsey is just really stuck on this whole Cass thing. He's nervous that she's coming after him. So they're like, you know what? Cassandra's not going to win HOH anyway. But if she does, we will be there to protect you. So just, like, chill out. I don't think that was enough for Ramsey because he was being really non-committal with his vote. He wasn't saying, like, yeah, Dallas, I'll keep you. But then Ramsey was talking to Mitch, and it seemed like he was like, yeah, I'm going to get rid of Dallas. So, I mean, he's being non-committal with one side and saying he's going to do something with the other side. I think it's pretty safe to say he's voting out Dallas. So Mitch was letting him know, like, I made this deal with Nikki. If she votes out Dallas this week, I will put up Cass if I win HOH. Whoa. But honestly, like, is Mitch ever going to win HOH anyway? I feel like he doesn't want to do that right now. I don't think he's at that point in the game. But anyway, the guys were discussing sticking by Nikki, like, physically being around her at all times now so that the other side can't flip her back. So Nikki was being very cold, frigid to Tim and his crew because she's not happy with them right now, and they are noticing this. She's laughing with Jared and his group while Raul is, like, giving them those tape facelifts, which was pretty funny. But Tim and Cass are like, whoa, Jared must have said something to her. We need to fix this. We need to fix it. So Joel and the brothers were also trying to scheme up some ways that they could get Nikki's vote back. And, you know, they know that Nikki is voting pretty much based on emotions. She doesn't vote based on strategy for the most part. So they're really trying to come up with some plans that are going to tug at her heartstrings. So this morning, Joel was talking to Nikki, and he was, like, all down and sad, and Nikki's just like, what's wrong, Joel? So then Joel was saying that he was upset because people have been making fun of him and, like, how he does poorly in challenges, and people saying that he's gullible, and Nikki's like, oh, who's doing that? And he's just like, Jared. Of course he's gonna say that. So he's really trying to mess with her emotionally, and Nikki's just like, well, you just have to ignore that stuff. Like, don't let them bother you. So it was pretty much an epic fail. So then Nick takes a crack at Nikki, and he goes for it. He's like, those people, like, he tells her, yeah, Mitch is your real friend, but those other people, like Maddie and Ramsey and Jared and all them, they're only giving you attention right now because they need your vote. So then he pulls out this one. Maddie makes fun of you and your tantrums all the time. And I've witnessed it, and I didn't want to tell you before because it wasn't necessary to tell you, but now I have to tell you. And then he's like, but I've never heard Dallas make fun of you before. Of course. All right. So then, oh my God, this has been brewing. Nikki and Tim had a huge blow up. So she's just like, why are we not sticking to the original plan? And Tim is like, I thought you wanted Maddie out. Like, why are you so upset? And Maddie's like, well, we worked it out. It's not a problem anymore. So then it kind of moves away from the game talk for, you know, after a while. This fight went on for quite a while, but it was a mixture of game and personal. So Nikki brings up how Tim's been spending so much time with Cass lately, and she felt really lonely. And Nikki's like, I effing hate Cassandra! And she wants her out of this house. And Tim is just like, fine, like, we can do that. I don't care. I don't give a crap. If that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. So eventually the whole bath thing comes up from a few days ago. They're rehashing that again. And eventually Nikki's like, I'm sick of you trying to rule this house. And Tim is like, well, if that's what you think, then I'm done. So he friggin' storms out of there. He's over it. Whoa. All right, back to the game. It's desperation time. Dallas is begging Nikki for her vote, and she's just like, I can't because of Tim. You will go home because of Tim. It's his fault because she doesn't want anything to do with him right now. So then he's asking her, like, what can I do to get your vote? And she's like, well, I want Tim and Cassandra out. So Dallas is like, okay, if I win HOH, I'll put him up on the block, which goes completely against everything that he's promised to Tim and Cassandra and company. But Nikki realizes this, and she's like, you've made promises to everyone. Like, I'm sorry, but I can't give you my vote right now. So then the bros are trying to convince Jared to vote Maddie out and keep Dallas. That's not going to work. It was a total deadlock. Neither of the sides were budging. So after that nonsense, after the brothers left the room, Jared looks to the camera and he's just like, the brothers have just bought themselves a ticket on the block. So he's like really pissed now at them. Definitely drawing a line in the sand. So then this looks like it could be possibly what's actually going to happen, because I didn't see it myself, but apparently Dallas like tried to call out Mitch, Jared, and Raul for being like a new trio, and it got a little nasty, and Mitch was like really playing that up with Nikki, how like Dallas is a bigot and like a bully and stuff. So Mitch and Maddie were campaigning to Nikki, and she's just like, you know what? I have to vote out Dallas. He's a jerk, and I want to protect my Mitch. Whoa! So it's, I don't know, who's going home? This is where we're at right now. Who is going home? I honestly don't know. It pretty much comes down to Nikki at this point. If she does stick with Mitch and vote out Dallas, it should be a 5-3 vote. If she goes back with Tim, I don't know if maybe he'll have the chance to talk to her again and convince her, then it'll be a tie, and I guess Tim will keep Dallas. I don't know what's going to happen. But also tonight, Lavita or Kelsey will be coming back, and I think that's going to send crazy shockwaves throughout the house. So tomorrow should be very exciting. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Who's going home? Who's coming back? And who do you want to win the next HOH? And until tomorrow, much love.
Edit.